the Super Channel Heart and Home After Show with special guests Miranda McDougall, Barbara Gregazova, Chris McNally, Jada Lily Miller, Sarah Maberly, Aaron Krakow, and now the host of the Super Channel Heart and Home After Show, Elliott Wallach.
Hi everybody, welcome to the Super Channel Heart and Home After Show, episode 4. Things are starting to get interesting. Some new characters coming to Hope Valley. Tiffiany is on the set of When Calls the Heart to talk to Miranda McDougall about the new character, the ranch owner, the lawyer, Edie Martell. Let's take a look.
Welcome to When Calls the Heart.
Thank you.
New character this season.
Yes, new character, Miss Edie Martell.
Yeah, tell me about her. Describe her for me.
Okay, so Edie is a lawyer. She has come to Hope Valley because she's inherited her late uncle's ranch. So she's steadfast, she's smart, she's witty, she's a total joy to play. She meets Governor Bouchard, Lucas Bouchard, and they have an interesting relationship from the jump.
I'm looking at you in this beautiful white outfit. What's her style? Is this representative of what she's going to be wearing?
Edie has a pretty incredible collection of three-piece suits. She loves a vest. I would say they definitely tended a bit on the lighter side for this character. Just exciting. I've had a beautiful green kind of pastel skirt suit, some pants. I do some riding as Edie, given that she did inherit a ranch. She has to be able to be on horseback to explore the many acres that she's inherited. So wasn't going to do that in a skirt, which I was very grateful. I didn't have to side saddle anything. Some fun riding pants. She's got a beautiful blue pinstripe suit. So she's buttoned up, but definitely an independent woman of her age, I think. Yeah, and for the time period especially too.
Edie's a lawyer, so it's funny because I just collect stuff prior to the season. So I actually bought something 2 months ahead of time. I found a vest and then I found a skirt, and it wasn't attached together. But I was just oh, this would be great for Faith. And I didn't know she's pregnant. So I was this could work for her, because I couldn't imagine any other character to wear, right? And then we went to, surprisingly, the baker, which closed down. And they had this pinstripe, let's call it off-white or beige suit. And it was a blazer and there was a pants. And I was I can either use it as a pantsuit, or I can buy 2 pants and make a skirt and a vest to go with the blazer, right? I didn't have the character for it either. We didn't know about Edie at that point. Maybe we knew about Edie, but we didn't know who they cast, which then that's another thing, right? Because you don't ever know, if we buy something, if it will fit. But, if you don't buy it, you will need it. And when you need it, they will not have it. And you will not ever find it, right? So that was kind of one of her other outfits for Edie, because she ended up in this pinstripe looks. I would call it classic probably, but it's very clean silhouette. Maybe that's a better word. Because when we had Madeline, she was very I would say call her more bright, or her stripes were wider, right? Edie's more it's the pinstripe look, which we didn't have before. And then again, I found Simple Retro this vest and a skirt look, which worked again perfectly for her. So we just needed to alter it, right? And then blouses, you have to find a good selection of blouses for everybody. So that's kind of sometimes hard because we cannot just, we don't have time and we don't have really people to build everything from scratch. And also the fabrics, right? To find a nice pinstripe fabric, you kind of maybe have to go outside of Vancouver because there is not that many choices. So I would just say it's all kind of lucky finds which somehow come together.
Edie, Ms. Martell, Mrs. Martell.
I'm engaged.
What are you doing here?
What am I doing on my ranch? Maybe I should ask you the same thing.
And you said you did some riding. Did you know how to ride before you came on the show?
I did know how to ride. Yeah, I kind of grew up riding on and off. I taught therapeutic horseback riding when I was younger. I did it as a high school volunteer requirement kind of thing.
Yeah.
To fulfill those volunteer hours. That was amazing. So I spent a lot of time around horses when I was in high school, and then kind of on and off. I've always loved horses and loved riding when I could. So it was really exciting. I had never ridden as an actor though, so that was a whole other thing to learn. There's one thing riding a horse just for pleasure, but then when you have to stop at a mark and, you know, control the horse when things are going on. So it definitely feels a little like this sometimes, but the wranglers are the best, and Chris is great on a horse too. So it was nice having somebody who knows what's going on, had done it before.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not his first rodeo,
Right.
if I can make that rhyme. Terrible.
But you know, when he came on the show, he didn't have very much experience horseback riding. So he picked it up really fast, though, because like you said, he seems really experienced.
So experienced. I think he mentioned that to me, that he began riding when he landed this role. I was like, what? How is that possible? Yeah. So it's actually been really lovely to, you know, obviously play this role and be here among the cast, but also to take that up again. Something that I loved for so much of my life has been really special.
So you mentioned that Edie meets Lucas. Is she a friend or a foe?
That is a great question.
Yeah.
Is she?
Can
Is she
you
a
give
friend?
us- yeah.
Oh, I think as any great relationship begins, you know, there's a bit of rocky ground. I think they have vested interest in two very different places when they begin. Edie's a lawyer. She doesn't have much of a connection to Hope Valley when she first kind of enters the scene, given that she's inherited a ranch in a neighboring town. But as things have it, Mr. Bouchard just keeps coming into her life, and they keep bumping into each other. So that said, I think that it lays a really nice groundwork for a complex relationship going forward. I think that they have grown a lot from their first encounters, but even in those first few times we see them together, I think that there's definitely an energy between them that, whether it ends up down the friendship line or the foe line, it's an exciting one to witness.
How was it between you and Chris? How was the chemistry just as actors working together? Have you enjoyed that?
So much so. Chris is such a pro. He's amazing. Such a kind, lovely person. We actually have some mutual friends, being that we're both actors from Vancouver. So that was kind of nice to connect the dots in a personal sense as well. But he's a lovely guy, awesome actor. And yeah, it was lovely. Super warm energy. He's so open. Yeah, total pro. I lucked out with my scene partner for sure.
And you mentioned the scene that you thought was really fun to shoot, which was riding the horse and all of that, and you had to rescue this calf.
We did.
Yeah.
Yes, I say we did.
Okay.
He did most of the rescuing. He did. So yes, we had spent, I believe it was all in one day. Maybe we split it over 2 days, if my memory serves me. But it was a blur of animals and horseback and calves. Luckily, the weather was on our side, because that would have been a whole other thing, rescuing a calf in the mud. And it was really fun. We had spent the morning or the better half of one day riding up and down the property, capturing a lot of our horseback scenes. And then we knew that the calf scene was looming in the background, and it was Chris's job to rope this calf. And I think maybe on another set or with another actor, they would have said, let stunts handle it or let a double handle it. But Chris is such a pro, and I think he was really very subtly and quietly confident about his ability to do this. So you'll see that Edie's kind of watching and, okay, Mr. Governor, city boy, you think you can do this? And then he does, and that reaction is very genuine, because he genuinely roped it on the first try.
Wow.
I know.
Not even TV magic.
Not even TV. I wish I could say it was movie magic, but
Wow.
no, I hope they used the whole tape.
Yes.
Because it
Right,
is-
'cause they could cut it
they
where
could
it would
cut
seem like-
I know.
yeah.
So you heard it. Chris really roped that.
Wow.
Yes.
I'm going to ask him about that. That's
You
pretty
should.
cool.
I think it's worth a try.
Do you?
Okay. Yeah?
Yeah, sure.
Come here, buddy. Okay. Got him?
Okay, yes, I got it.
And you guys got to do a really fun scene together with the
Which
baby
one?
cow. Well, maybe,
Oh, the baby cow.
Yeah, tell me about this, because, okay, she told me,
Yeah.
well, I'm gonna, I don't know,
What did she tell you?
that you roped that little cow on the first try.
I had some practice.
Wow. Okay, you did.
Yeah. I had some practice, but not with a real cow. I had some practice with a fake cow.
Yeah.
Which is a lot easier to rope, it turns
Well,
out.
sure, it's not moving.
Yeah, and when nobody was watching, because when you try and learn a new skill at work, I often find that it's you get the hang of it and you go, okay, it's gonna be no problem, but that's when you're on your own, and then as soon as there's 80 people around and
Staring at
cameras
you.
and time is money and you have to do it, then it doesn't happen. So I was relieved, but I will say that Carson, who taught me how to rope, Carson's one of the wranglers here, young guy who's a phenomenal roper. He competes, and the calf got out at one point. Not out, we were outside, but it got loose and it was not wanting to come back. And it was cutting across the field, and Carson roped it as it was running from what seemed like 40 feet. Got it, and that was the really impressive one of the day.
That's
I was
amazing.
only a short distance from him, but I was pleased that it worked out. I thought you were going to say that she told you about how I split my pants.
No, she did not. She didn't throw you under the bus.
Okay.
Yeah, so tell me.
Well, I went to pick up that calf. We only did one take, and I bent down and I split my pants from top to bottom.
Did you know? I
was aware. It was very loud. Lots of people didn't realize that it had ripped. They thought it was something else. And I stood up and turned around, and I just felt like I had this, maybe it was internal, but this smirk on my face. So if anybody's watching that and feel like Lucas has a little twinkle in his eyes, because I know that my pants are blown right open on the back.
So it was one take, so they had to use it.
Well, I'd wrecked my pants, so we couldn't
That
do
was
another
it?
one. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. Well,
It's my second time doing that on this show.
Really?
Yeah. There was the strongman competition.
Yes, I remember that.
I also sacrificed a pair of pants for that. You did. Yeah. I think there was a backup that day, though.
You think they would maybe, like for these scenes where you're doing something a little bit more strenuous, that we'll need to talk to Barbara.
I think I just need
Get
to
some
stop
carpet.
squatting.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. I have some work to do there.
Oh, that's funny. I'm glad you told me that story. That's really funny.
You're welcome.
You know, Edie Martell, you continue to surprise me. Hey, buddy, come here. Come here.
He's capable.
He's capable. That's
Totally,
a good word.
Totally.
Yes.
And
totally
I think that's
capable.
cool because he takes that into Lucas in a lovely way. And I think that's something that in that moment, Edie really saw in that character. She saw in Lucas is that the capability and like a strong and loyal and kind of resolute person. So I think that was a little bit impressive for her to witness. Yeah.
That she might find as an attractive quality.
I mean, who's to say? Maybe. I think, yes, I think hypothetically speaking, Edie would find that an attractive quality in a potential friend. Yes.
So did you know about When Calls the Heart before you were cast?
I did.
You
Yes,
did? Okay.
I did know. Yeah. It's, I think working in and living in Vancouver, it's kind of like it's very much like a heartbeat show of this film industry here. It's been on for so long. It has, employed so many people. It's definitely a known show in this industry. So joining was so lovely. Everyone's been fantastic. It really, I think that sets say this often, we're a family, but it does really feel that way here. And to experience that, not just on a surface level, but like a really genuine level has been such a gift. It's so exciting to come to work every day. And I'm really, really grateful to have spent the summer here.
What did you think when you first walked on set? What was?
Oh my gosh.
Were you overwhelmed?
Well, I was in awe because it's a full town. It felt like I was walking into an amusement park or like just this wonderful old-timey village that as an actor is so amazing because it really lands you in a specific time and place and takes away the kind of fourth wall actor work that has to be done or getting yourself into, a certain time period or environment. The fact that it's just here and you can pick things up and they feel genuine to the time period is just so cool.
How did you find out that you actually got the role?
I had auditioned. I had a call back and it went so well. It was with the producers, a couple of the directors, and I had such a fun time. We worked the scenes and it wasn't too far after that I got a call from my agent saying that they would love to have me play Edie Martell. And I was thrilled. I was really excited. One of the first people I told was my Nana. She is 90. And I told her, she's always been very invested, both of my grandmothers, both still alive, both fantastic, supportive, lovely women. But my Nana specifically, I told her, and she very straight-faced said, "Oh no, I know about that show. Oh no, that's my favorite show." She said, "I've seen every episode." So she actually has been a source of some Hope Valley history for me, filling in the blanks in the research I've done as to where we've been up until season 12.
She must be so excited that you're on it. I mean, you're on her favorite show.
Totally, I know.
Yeah.
I think that, that's really special.
Yeah. Have you heard of the Hardys? The fan?
I have heard of the
Okay.
Hardys.
So maybe she's kind of a Hardy.
I don't think she knows what a Hardy is, but I think that she's pretty hip. So if I told her that there are such a thing as Hardys, she would embrace that. Yes.
Yeah, I suspect that Nana is probably definitely a Hardy. To me, a Hardy is this kind, empathetic, caring person, loves humanity. In fact, if you want to see a Hardy in her native environment, Tiffiany is on the set talking to Jada Lily Miller about the birthday dance party in Hope Valley.
So this has been a fun episode 4. It's your birthday party. Did you have any input into this whole idea of a dance party?
I didn't, but it was like, I was so happy that it happened because Allie's never had a big birthday or anything. And like, she's growing up. She wants to like do something fun with her friends. So it was like, it was very cool how they completely like transformed the saloon and everything. I was like, wow, this is like another universe. Allie is a very good decorator apparently because it was awesome.
Were you surprised when you walked into the saloon and saw what Sarah had done?
I was very impressed too. It was like all like, I felt it was very Tangled vibes, and that's like my favorite Disney movie. So I was like, wow, this suits Allie, this suits me, I guess.
I had so much fun with that because I did want to bring in a different feel. We've seen so many parties in there, but we haven't really seen a kids party, and I wanted to bring the youth, and our director really had some really strong ideas about what she wanted to see. And I was like, this was awesome. And so I did a ton of research, and there are genuinely books on how to decorate with what's this? Oh my gosh, now I'm forgetting what it's called. The streamers. There's books about how to decorate with them in the 1920s. It was a whole thing, and they've got every color that they had at the time. I was like, and it was a genuine period book. I was like, oh, this is what I need. This is like my Bible, my decorating Bible. And so we did. We brought in all of those streamers and really, really covered that ceiling to hide as much as we could, and that bring in the sparkle and that fun, like kind of like Footloose style era of party. That
And the Charleston. I mean, they were doing this new dance.
Yeah, and then being able to bring in that new music and those new dance moves. It was just there was so much youth and fun to it. It was a bold, fun party, deserving of Allie.
Who directed that episode?
That was Elise.
And so you said she had real specific ideas. What were her specific ideas? Was it the streamers?
Yeah. Well, it was more that she wanted. Yes, the streamers. She liked having that above kind of decor that would really bring some light and sparkle, and then having a lot of the twinkly lights in the foreground. And then she gave us some reference photos and was like, "This is the look that I'm going for." I'm like, "Okay, all right." And so that led me down the path of okay, well, what can I do that's period? And it just so happened that streamers were completely period.
And fitting for a kid's party.
So perfectly fitting. Yeah, it was beautiful how that all kind of blended together. It's like, okay, we get everything that we want out of this.
Yeah. Elise, I think, did a very good job with, I've seen like bits and pieces, but she did a very good job with shooting the party kind of differently, how we shoot normal like big dinner things or like big parties that we have with all the adults and stuff. So it was very fun and, youthful. It was fun. It was a good time.
And you got to dance?
Exactly.
Yeah, and so did you know the Charleston before you started?
I did. My mom had already taught it to me when I was younger, but I practiced it a bit, and then trust me, by the end, we were all pros. It was like we'd done it a lot. And of course, Elizabeth taught us in the schoolhouse, so I got a revamp of the lesson.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And if you're feeling really fancy, add in a little twist. That's great. Oh my goodness, you've got it now.
And how was it teaching the kids? when you had to actually teach them?
Oh, it was so much fun. I mean, they're so sweet, and it's a very basic step. It's not like I was teaching them some complicated choreography, so it was pretty simple, but always fun to work with the kids.
Did you know the Charleston?
I did know the Charleston.
You did?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
you went to Juilliard.
Yes.
Is dance part of that?
It is, but not, at least when I was there, it wasn't a big focus for the actors. There's obviously the dance division with all of the serious dancers who are on another level. But there was a bit of dance and certainly quite a bit of movement for the actors as well.
So we have another character that's a return character, Earl Wyatt.
Yes.
Can you remind us who this was in the past? I feel like it was episode or season 3, maybe. I don't know when they
Was
were.
it 3? I can't remember if it was 3 or 4.
Maybe 4. Yeah.
And you might be right.
So who was? Yeah, who were they? It was a couple kids that came into your class.
The Wyatt boys, nephews of Ray Wyatt, Railroad Man, and they were struggling. These kids, I think that they hadn't really found a place that felt like home yet, and they were acting out. And Earl Wyatt in particular, I think Elizabeth tried to discipline him for, I think he ripped the arm off of Opal's brownie bear, and so he ended up retaliating and kind of trashing the schoolhouse. And obviously by the end of the episode we find a way to connect with these boys, but it's been a long time. And so Earl, who now goes by Wyatt, he rides into town and Allie just gets those heart eyes for him, and I think she is wrestling with feelings of growing up and what that looks like for her, and especially what that looks like for her as the daughter of a Mountie. But she's wanting to explore what a more grown-up birthday party might look like. Scavenger hunts and pony parties are a thing of the past for her.
Right. How does Elizabeth feel about Wyatt and this interest that Allie's taking in him?
I think Elizabeth feels protective of Allie when she realizes that the boy Allie has a crush on is this Earl Wyatt. Not because he's a bad guy. I mean, he's grown up a lot since then, but obviously Elizabeth doesn't want Allie to get hurt.
Yeah. And is this the same actor?
It is not the same actor.
Okay.
No.
Yeah. I wondered, right?
No, I believe that the previous actor stopped acting. I think that's what I was told. Okay. Yeah, but River's been fantastic.
Have you heard about Allie's birthday dance?
Yeah, that's the talk of the town, Pigtails.
You should come. It's Sunday night and everyone's invited.
That could be fun.
Allie really likes this Wyatt guy, and I really enjoyed playing this whole story about, she's putting herself out there because she is, getting older, and this is, very new experience for her. She's had crushes in the past on, Robert and everyone, but this was kind of different because she decided to make a move.
You made it.
Happy birthday, Pigtails.
They're beautiful. So, do you want to dance?
Yeah, sure.
So the kids had a birthday dance party for Allie. Can you talk about Allie's dress?
So I kind of knew that there will be a party ahead of our schedule, shooting schedule. So I found actually this dress before we even were, I think, in a prep production. There was this dress in a store, and they were size 12. So they were big size. But it's this white lace with a black buttons and black trim, and it just felt really 1921 or start of at the early 20s, but it just was too big, which I knew. But I was thinking if they end up going with this storyline, it would be a perfect dress. So then we tried it on Ellie, and we just had to take it in a lot. Yeah, but that was a really lucky find. Yeah. And then all the other kids, we had to do a dress for Emily. It basically, I just bought 2 dresses. So we could do what we needed to do with 2 dresses, and we extended the length of the dress with the other dress, which kind of works for the period and the style. So that was Emily's dress. And then we had Angela, and Angela's dress, actually that one was a winner's find. For some reason, they just have the best fabric choices for Angela. So like most of her dresses that come from there, and then we alter them and make them, work for us. But just the fabrics, like the textures and the detail, it's just, you cannot find it in a stores, like in the fabric stores, right? So, and it's just interesting that I wouldn't wear it today, but it works for the period and it works for us, and it looks really good. And so basically, again, we bought 2 dresses, and we made out of 2 dresses 1 dress. And then we had Opal, and Opal actually ended up wearing a dress which I bought, I don't even know which year, in Nordstrom, and we still had a Nordstrom. And we chopped up the dress to make it look, like the appropriate for us. So, but again, like, it was just a lucky that we had something which worked.
Look at them. They're growing up. They're quite the young ladies.
Yes, they are.
A couple of your friends are graduating, Angela and Emily and Timmy. So how's Allie feeling about that?
Allie sees that they kind of have a plan, and she doesn't know kind of what she wants to do with her life as well. So it's kind of a weird time for her, trying to figure out where she belongs in the world. And I think that's a lot of her like growth this season, is kind of figuring out, who she is and what she wants to do, and, just figuring herself out, because nobody really knows that. It takes time to learn. Yeah. And I feel like a lot of us who play like our characters, like Angela or Vienna and Grayson and me, like, we've all just graduated, so we're kind of in the same boat as these characters, figuring out like what we want to do. Obviously acting for me, but like figuring out, our life into adulthood. So,
and hopefully you all stay on One Cause the Heart.
Oh yes, 100%,
yes, right?
Yeah.
Don't move away.
No.
I don't approve.
I don't want to go to Capital City. Stay in Lone Valley for sure.
Okay, good. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing how the rest of the season plays out, and thanks for sitting down with me to talk about the episode.
Thank you so much. It was so fun.
And that concludes this episode of the Super Channel Heart and Home After Show number 4. Can't believe it. We're going to see you guys for number 5. We're almost halfway there. It's crazy how quick it goes. But thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you guys next time.